So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Mark Short, and this is the very first of my videos for the propstop.wordpress.com, the Propstop on Facebook, and I also own the Propstop store. So, as many of you know, I have been on a wonderful TV show on MeTV called Collector's Call now since 2019. My good friend James Azrael from the HSPPA brought me on board to be the expert on his episode. This by no means is my first foray into TV or into props. As many of you may know, I've been a collector since 1988. I started with Doctor Who. It was my first love, and to some extent will always be important to me. Although recently I haven't enjoyed the show as much as I did when I was much younger. But funnily enough, I still go back and I watch the old episodes, and you know, I can probably say I've watched some of them 50 to 100 times and I still love them today as much as I did then. Nostalgia, or just they're better? I'm not sure. Well, so I decided recently that perhaps I was being outpaced, in that perhaps the world has moved on from the written word. Certainly it seems like book reading is down substantially, and so from what I understand, sometimes people don't even read past the first paragraph, which I find very disappointing. I built the Propstop.wordpress as a place where I could put my thoughts and feelings now for quite some time, because I used to put them on different forums and stuff, and people would destroy the thread, or they wipe the page, and the comments would disappear, and I just thought that was a shame. So that's why I created the Propstop, and for a good 10 years I didn't even use it as a selling vehicle. And then I decided, well, you know, most of the auction houses out there are just doing pretty much what I'm doing when I advertise for them, or basically I kind of thought, well, why don't I try to do that myself? And that's why I started the Propstop store. Every single thing on there is something I love. I've never bought a prop because I thought it was specifically worth a ton of money. I bought it because I loved it. And that really is the problem in a way, because you collect things you love, it makes it hard to let them go. But at the same time, I think we all have the moment when we find this stuff, and I think that's pretty much the height that it will ever be. That's the moment I think we love the thing more than anything. And for myself, the story of getting something was really the most important part of it. And then owning it, never quite as cool. And certainly selling it, my least favorite part of the whole thing. But number one, I don't even know what we're going to be calling this yet. I think I'd done a couple of bits and pieces, hadn't I, for VIP fan auctions, where I'd advertised with a video camera those items. And I think I called that Propstop Minute, or I don't even remember. I'll have to look it up. Anyway, whatever we're going to call this is number one. And I hope that, you know, we'll probably do one of these a week, and then maybe I'll do two, and then maybe I'll do three, and then maybe they'll be daily. I have no idea. I just wanted to use this more modern way of doing things. And I really appreciate people like Sean Clark, who do such a wonderful job of describing their props and talking about their adventures online. I think it inspired me to do more of a chat about it, you know, more of a talk. Because there's nothing quite like seeing something in 3 dimensions and being able to, you guys can look at all you like at the episodes. You can find out the date the thing was made, which I forgot a long time ago. You can find out who did it. I'm only going to talk about thoughts and feelings. I'm going to tell you what pieces mean to me. I'm going to tell you why I think they're cool. Maybe I'll even sometimes bring up, you know, the value of them. I don't know. It's just like me and the camera, and me and you at home, just talking about the things that we all love, which is these silly pieces of rubber and plastic and cotton that just mean so much to us. So I loved The Strain. It was on FX. The minute I saw the first episode, I turned to whoever was in the room and I said, I'm going to own stuff from that. So I literally, for the 3 years before the end of the show, kept in contact with the production crew. And although that's always very, very hard, in this case, I think my love of the show came through, and eventually I got the call that we're going to be having a sale. So I went up to Toronto, and I think I got a little bit more of the red carpet than most because, obviously I wasn't just showing up on a cold morning at 9:15. I'd been in contact with the crew, and I just really enjoyed the show. Non-apologetic. I think the first season's the best, and then as it goes through, it gets progressively not as good. But I rewatched the whole show recently. It's on Hulu. It's very much I recommend you watch it. And it's just some of Guillermo del Toro's love of vampires and TV and film, Blade, certain other shows, all mixed into one. And this is probably the most important prop from it. Now, this is a rubber stunt runaround one. I had gone and bought a few things for production. I'm very grateful to a gentleman or two on the production who very kindly, I said, oh man, I'd love to have a book from that. And, I didn't expect one. I just said I would love to have one. And as I was leaving, I was driving away, I got a message about half an hour later, we've got one for you. And lo and behold, I am the proud owner of the, I used to call it the Necronomicon, of course it's not, it's the book, of which I will probably put in the description because I can't remember the name of it right now. This is what I mean. As you get older, you start forgetting facts. People around me don't understand that. I can't wait for you to be old to see that. But one thing it doesn't ever fade is the feeling of holding something you genuinely adore or something that you want to talk about. And this is one of those pieces that's got a great story. It's a wonderful piece from the show. It was used a hell of a lot. And it's a very thick rubber, and it's basically a cast, and then they put these pieces here which are just tacked on with little pins. But being it's the main prop from the show, it's the way to kill vampires. It's got the secrets of the vampires in it. This one doesn't open, but it is an absolutely fantastic piece. I think it's called the Occido Lumen. The Occido Lumen, there you go. People always ask me all the time, how would you decide, what you keep? And I'm just basically like, well, everything I like, I know is something I want to keep. So when you buy something from me, it's something that's meaningful to me. And I'm very proud of the fact that several well-known collectors out there know that about me and have remarked, Mark, you never buy anything that you don't truly love. I really don't. I buy the things I love. And that way, if I'm stuck with them and nobody wants them, then I really don't care. In this case, I absolutely love this piece. Some people say, I'm going to be buried with this item. I'm never going to, no, nothing's going to be buried with me. But certainly, as long as I'm here, I will enjoy the story of how I got this, enjoy the show it was based on. Thank you, Guillermo del Toro, and all the wonderful people who worked on that show, from the costume people to the makeup people, and all of the cinematographers and set, and even right down to the person who gave out the hot dogs at the end of the night. The Strain's gonna always be something that I just loved watching. I knew I wanted stuff from it, and I wasn't prepared to wait around for an auction house together. I just thought, let's just go out there and see if we can find it. So I hope you've enjoyed this first episode. As I said, there may be things that you want to see in my collection. Take a look at the propstop.wordpress.com. Sign up on the Propstop on Facebook. In the body of the text, say, I'd like more information about this. I'd like you to talk about where you found that. I'd like you to talk about your history on stuff. One of the great things about this is I just get to talking to the camera. It's something I love to do, is talk. And I get to do it so easily. I don't have to sit down and type a whole bunch of stuff out. I don't have to get a whole bunch of photographs. I can just pull up the prop and say, this is something I just want to tell you guys about. So thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed the first episode. As I said, please sign up on Facebook for the Propstop, and we're nearly 3,000 people on there, all real people who have read my words and listened to my yakking on about stuff. I'm so terribly honored and grateful that you would want to know a little bit about my life and about the things that I find out there in the wonderful world of props and costumes. Until next time, stay safe.